everyone, this is Maurice Domingo with my enormous scrapbook, and today is another episode where you get to know your favorite athletes in a snap, only here on Scrapbook. Hello everyone, so today on our episode of Scrapbook, we have an empowered woman who is now on her tracks to be in the Formula 1 racetrack. So let us all welcome on this episode of Scrapbook, we have Bianca Bustamante. Hi Bianca!
Hey everyone!
Hello everyone, today I am with Miss Bianca Bustamante. Say hello!
Hey everyone! So I'd like to introduce myself. I am Bianca Bustamante. I'm a racing driver from the Philippines, and I've been driving cars or go-karts ever since I was 3 years old. And I've been professionally competing since the age of 5. And now I am a W Series racing driver, and I am the first ever Filipino to be in a high-level sport like this.
It's very inspirational for me to be talking to someone like you, because this is the first time in the show that I actually have a woman who I'll be talking to. So yeah, girl power.
Girl power.
So you told us that you started driving at the age of 3. I started driving at the age of 21. Would you imagine the gap? So tell us, how was it driving at the age of 3?
At first, of course, like there was a lot of doubts. Like, of course, being 3 years old, I wasn't aware or sure yet the danger that I was about to face.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, of course I want to drive. It's something that I always felt passionate about, probably because my dad was a former karter. So everything I learned, he introduced me to the sport. It all came from him. And I had my mom as well, who was very, very strict about racing. She didn't want me to get involved in any of it because she knew that it can get very dangerous, and she's seen the worst of racing. And you know, regardless of that, I still pursued and continued on. I told myself that this was something that I really, really wanted to do, not just because for the sake of driving, because I professionally want to be competitive in something like this.
So tell us that time, because you said you drive professionally at 5. So can you share us that moment, that first professional driving moment? How did it feel?
It was incredible. Like, I still remember my very first race, my very first win, my podium, and I guess the pivot point for my career really was winning the Macau Grand Prix. And that was my first year in professional racing. I won it, I went and conquered, and that's when I really realized that this was something that I wanted. And because I just love the essence of competition, I love dominating against a male-dominated sport. I like that I was always the only female, and I like that I was fast, and I like that I was able to just be myself and unleash my talent, and you know, regardless of what people thought, like, because I was a female, because I was this and that, I wasn't allowed to race, but I wanted to prove that otherwise. And
you proved them wrong.
Yeah, trying to.
You told us that since you're a race car driver, you are driving at a great speed. So tell us how it feels to drive more than how much do you like at most?
Right now I am driving a Formula 3 car. It goes about 270 kilometers per hour.
Can you please enlighten me how it feels? Because personally I don't go past 80.
It's an amazing feeling. The minute that you go over 150, the steering sort of feels light, and you just go like supersonic, and it's just like you're one with the wind, and you just hear the engine just roaring, and you're shifting, and everything just feels like drifting past you. And then you hit, and then you come about a corner, and you have to brake, and you just feel the G-force slowly pushing you forward, and you have to stop it. And you have to withstand the G while you're turning, you have to brake, and you have to accelerate, and then once you accelerate, the car goes up, and then the G pushes you back, and that's the best feeling ever, to be honest, just driving and pushing the car's limit. And as you push the limit, you also push your limit. Like, at first, I never would have thought that I would be able to drive a car like that, just because of how technical, how fast, and how scary it looks from the outside. But the minute I did it once, I did it every day. I know, like, it was something that I couldn't stop doing.
Yeah. And fun fact, can you tell us something now? Parang very ironic about you being a race car driver. Tell us.
Okay. Ironically, I am not allowed to drive in the streets yet. Even though I have a professional racing license, I don't have a driving license yet. So I can't drive on the streets. I still have my mom to chaperone me, drive me back and forth to the track. So hopefully I'll get my license very, very soon.
Hopefully, because you're turning 18.
Yes.
Yeah. Since you'll be turning 18 this January, if I'm not mistaken, what is that goal? Saan mo gustong makapag, I don't know, where you can win before you turn 18?
I want to win my first ever single-seater race. Like that's always been my a bucket list that I wanted to achieve before I was 18. Like, of course, the very first one was to be able to drive a Formula car, and now that I'm racing one, I really want to win my first ever single-seater race.
So we are going to the exciting part where we are going to let you answer our enormous scrapbook. So you can like narrate everything that you wrote there.
My nickname is Bia. This was actually given to me by my manager. He was like, Bia sounds really nice and it matches really well with my
Personal
Instagram handle,
yeah,
which is Racer Bia. And my birthday is January 9, 2005. And I'm a Capricorn, very competitive, I'd say. Capricorns, yeah. And my dream is to be a Formula 1 driver
at the age of,
oh, I should have wrote that
yeah,
before I turned 21. The joke. No, any point in my life.
okay.
Just to make it there is good enough for me. And
No rush.
No rush.
Okay.
And my favorite color is orange, like the sunset. Fun fact, I've always had an orange helmet. Like my whole racing career, I've always had orange helmets because the sunset would always calm me down, and I like that I get to see it often, so I made it my helmet. And my favorite food is sushi, halo-halo, and adobo.
What kind of, okay, so this is a very crucial question. What adobo do you like, the dry one or the one with sabaw?
It depends. I like the dry, but it's like super oily.
Yeah.
And then there's like different kinds. There's the sweet, there's maasim adobo, there's masabaw. I honestly I love every single. Like my favorite athletes are Niki Lauda and Serena Williams. Really look up to them. So yeah. My favorite moment was when I was signed by W Series and we raced alongside Formula 1. We're the support race at F1. And I performed really well in the shootout. Therefore, I was given a 2-year deal with the W Series, a fully paid racing season. So yeah, it's an amazing opportunity for me, especially coming from Philippines. It's given me so much opportunities and opened so many doors for me. So 4 things you didn't know about me. I took my time on this one because honestly, I don't know myself well enough. First one would be my very first race suit was when I was 1 year old. The minute I was born, my dad got me a tailored race suit, and that was about it. Everything I wore, everything I do, it all resembled racing. And my center was race.
Yeah.
So the second one is that I started working out when I was 5, purely because driving a car, people would think it's so easy, but it's actually not. I have to drive without power steering. It's very heavy. The G-force when you're braking and accelerating, there's a lot that the physical side of it. And so my dad told me that if I don't work hard enough for it, when I don't work out and become fit, I'll never be good at something and I'll never be a professional. So yeah, I was a chubby little kid, and that's why I started working out at 5, so I could be a better racing driver and push myself more in the car. Fun fact, actually, I should have wrote it down here. I trained in the Olympic Training Center in USA. So I was training in the Olympic Training Center in San Diego, and I was training with Olympians, and it was insane. Third one is that I love watching anime. Anime always has great lessons to it. It's a great pastime. Maybe a bit too much time. Spend too much time on it, procrastinate and everything. But I love watching anime. Love watching sports anime.
What type of anime do you like?
Sports like Haikyuu, Yoshino Pedal, Jujutsu Kaisen, and just like lots of really good animes. And the last one is that I'm an artist and I draw portraits and floor plans. So for me, racing is an art, and I've always my center is art. I've always been creative in racing, finding solutions, and of course with pen and paper. I like how I can just get a piece of paper and a pen or pencil, and a blank canvas becomes something very, very beautiful. And of course, I love drawing floor plans because I've always wanted to be an architect, and that's what, hence the handwriting, the very, very precise strokes and equal letters. But yeah,
all caps, handwriting.
All caps. Yeah, love drawing floor plans. Always wanted to be an architect. But yeah.
So when you're driving, do you like see the angles?
Oh yes, 100%. 100%. Like racing is the most mathematical thing I've ever experienced. Like there's physics, there's data, there's analysts, there's like angles. You know, you break in a straight line, then you turn, and there's 90 degrees, and there's acceleration, there's g-force, there's calculation, and there's kinetics, and there's mechanical grip and everything. And it's like the first time I've learned all about this, you know, you don't learn it in a day, for sure. It's 100%. You don't learn it in a day. I've accumulated 11 years worth of experience from racing everywhere to know all the knowledge that I do know now, and it's still not enough.
Okay, so racing is the most mathematical thing she experienced. So now you know why I don't race. Now you know why I don't drive. I hate math, so now you know. So now we've talked about the 4 things that people don't know about you that are very unique. Now let's talk about the things that you want to achieve 5 years from now.
Yeah, so 5 years from now is, I feel like it's not very far away, to be honest, and there's so much that I can accomplish in that time. And of course, here's a few of them. Of course, number 1 would be to race in F1, to be an F1 driver, and just to be there in the top pinnacle of motorsport, and to be the only female in my era in F1. That's the goal for me. The second is to be an engineer, architect. Yeah, I've always wanted to be an engineer because, you know, if I don't get to race in F1, maybe I can build it, you know. That's why I wanted to be an engineer. It's something always related to racing. And third one would be to buy a penthouse in New York City. So, like I said back then, or previously, I loved orange. I love the sunset. It's my calm. It really calms me down. So being able to be in the top floor in New York City and just watch the sun goes down after a long day at the track or at work is just an amazing feeling.
Very calming for you.
Yes, very calming for me. Like the fourth one would be to buy my dad a Ferrari. Like, I've always wanted to give back to my parents. You know, they've made so much. Like, they've given up so many things just so I can dream so I can achieve my dreams. And especially my dad, he's worked the hardest just so he could provide and give me a wonderful life and a wonderful career. And even though it was nearly impossible to even have a career in racing purely because of how expensive it can be and how it's reserved for people with money.
If your dad is watching right now, what's your message to you? I want you to cry.
Of course, you know, like a huge, you know, thank you, because I was able to achieve my dream. You know, you've given up yours just so I can have mine, and that is the most selfish love anyone can give. So the next one would be to win in Monaco Grand Prix. You know, I really want to win in Monaco because it's the best race in the world. It's very historical. It's very critical. It's very difficult, and you know, to win there would be just so rewarding, and to have that Philippine anthem played on the top step of the podium, and you know, lifting that trophy and just being so proud of who I am and where I came from.
Last but not least,
to fly a fighter jet. Yes, I've always thought that if I could race cars, might as well just fly a fighter jet, right? You know, from land to air. Let's do this. I'm trying to get my driving license first, and then my flying license.
Okay. Alright, so that's the 4 things and the unique things about you, and of course the things that you want to have in the next 5 years.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. 1, 2. Grab, it's like a superstar signature. So much again, Mia. We hope that all of the things that you wrote here, especially the 5 years from now, I hope that you would achieve.
I'll be messaging you guys and be like, if any of those come true, I'll be like, I need a copy of it.
Thank you so much again, Dia.
Thank you so much, guys.
And that is it, guys, for today's episode of Scrapbook, a very empowered woman who conquered the racetracks. So who will our next guest be? We'll find out soon, only here on Scrapbook. Bye, guys!